Beautiful divine masculine and feminine darlings. This is the Seraph and Gem Gypsy. Seraph Indigo Empress and Shiloh Horizon. Please feel free to remember to hydrate. Oh no, there's cat hair in my cup. Should have known. Now there's no cat hair in my cup. Cheers. So I'm going to jump right into this reading in just a moment. I started to, well actually I grabbed the wrong deck. I went to grab some decks. I was called to do so and I meant to grab a different one, but the Twin Flame deck is the one that came out. So we're doing that. I did start to shuffle a few out. And then I also got downloads on a few karmic energies. And so I let those shuffle out. These are ones that have been playing around in my energy field. And none of the collective. There's still hair in there. Hold on. And just like that, right? I went to fill this cup with fresh water. I filled it and there was cat hair in it. I washed it and somehow there's still a piece of cat hair stuck somewhere. Okay, and it's like these karmics. You think you clean them out. And then they just keep coming back, or they keep causing problems, or there's some, like a little residual piece of their stalking, or there's something. And so basically it's about making sure all the last little bit of that poison is actually washed out, so to speak. And that there's no way for it to get back in. And I'm not talking about cat hair on that one. I mean, these people. Air Santeria by Sublime. You know what I also picked up a few minutes ago in the shower? These karmics have a disease. Straight from the brain is where they bleed. Insanity they'll plead to save themselves from self-destruction. No. It's bitter, baby, but it's very sweet. Hopping off the roller coaster and back on my feet. Take me to the river, let me on your shore. I'm coming back for my baby and she's coming home once more. there's no cat hair in my green juice because I made it myself. I did, however, repurpose a kombucha bottle because it's glass. Somebody said, why a juice? Why green juice? Because it's very nutrient dense and even if I'm not eating a lot, I can still get those nutrients in through the day. So, as far as this twin flame energy goes, now I did stop shuffling. I saw where this reading was going. I do have a few other decks to pull, and a few other areas to pull a spread on. And again, these are all either things that the divine wants to be read about, or these are people being exposed for playing around in our energy field, mine and or the collectives. Cheers. I don't just go digging around in people's lives like these people who don't know how to mind their own business have been towards us. If I'm reading about these karmic people, it's because of the damage that they sought to do to our lives. It's because they didn't know how to mind their own business and they decided to tamper with ours instead. So they put themselves in our energy field. And here's the thing, I'll jump into just an energy update on the regular without looking to read on anything or anyone in particular. And normally that's what happens. Sometimes there are particular topics that come up, so we address them. However, in this case, normally I'll read and that's just what comes out in the reading because that's what's in the energy, because they didn't know how to mind their own business. Right. And just picking up a karmic, finally realizing that it's not the same thing if they try to pull cards or get into our akashics or anything like that, because we don't care about that. We don't want to know what's going on with them. We see it. I mean, periodically, in fact, in this reading, a what's their karma energy will come up, but only when the question is, what's their karma for how they've been messing with us and causing harm to us and didn't know how to stay out of our lives when we told them to go away, for starters. Okay, it's not the same thing. And they're learning that the hard way. Sugar, I think I need some more. That's okay, it's okay. I can do that. Let's do a little birthday cake, shall we? In fact, I've just been getting downloads on one of my next nail sets. The last couple of days. Crossover. 11:42. Somebody says, why aren't you just reading? Why aren't you? Because the energy is not right yet. I'm going to hold space for a few minutes. closure Reiki's coming through. There's somebody asking a karmic, why are you like this? That's funny. Cheers. I did another set of nails though. I'm not quite done. I have 2 more left to do. Excuse me, I should have reminded you about the light. I do try to be mindful of that. Welcome to my tea corner. The golden snitch. Up in the clouds with the airplane. The airplane. Paris. In Rome, it says. Also up in the clouds. Then you have a little palm tree. Palm tree. And the sun and the moon over here. But then it says art moves us rather. Ballerina. Her dress looks like a flower, hibiscus almost. This one says, talk to the palm. Little palm tree. I did talk to the palm. It's a little bit hard to pick up on camera, that pink. Because of the sparkle in it, it registers a little bit more off screen. And the microphone. Make art be heard. And then a little mushroom over here. Somebody says, what are you doing on the other 2? Mermaid. Cheers. There's abundance Reiki coming through as well. I'm hearing a karmic female talk to her dad. They must be in a little cliquey, abusive group together. And she says, I think we underestimated her dad or something like that. And he's saying something like, no, I'm not ready to give up. Well, this just sounds like his selfish pride and arrogance and ego to me. Like he's got something to prove and everything to lose. Sounds like Napoleon complex. to a degree, that last statement. Thank you, I love you. My ancestral team has been loud lately, but this is standing out to me. This was Delray's dad. I hear stolen chants, or milky chants, stolen dance. As I look down at this card, I want you so bad, it says. It says this divine masculine who's being guided to divine feminine. I have an offer for you. He says, so this is divine masculine stepping through or wanting to step through. I'll carry you through it all. So don't chase me. It's in reverse. Been focusing on you. So there may be some divine masculines that have been waiting on divine feminine. I'm going to check into that in a second. Let's hold these out. I'm always with you, protecting you, even when they're not in communication. We mirror what happens to you is what happens to me. So I would say, just given that maybe this divine masculine's been very busy and like focused on and maybe even a little distracted by just getting through whatever stuff that he's been dealing with. And so hold on, we'll get into that in a second. Air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius came out as well. I need to stop falling for temptation in reverse. I just heard anxiety by Dochi. Yeah, so maybe he has anxiety about reaching out, or like I hear consent. He feels like he doesn't want to overstep her boundaries, especially if she's been dealing with stuff. Patience is key is here too. I heard that. I like your nails, divine masculine said. And then these ones. My little mushroom. Go outside and yell my name to the universe. I want to see what that's about to And this one, surrender my love, in reverse. I would like to see a deck. Hold on, let's see. I think it's in here. Should be in here. Usually in here. I keep it in here. So I don't know where else it would be. There it is. You know why? Because it's where it belongs. Okay. Victory, missing you. I'm telling you, it's like focused on work, or yeah, he's been so focused on building a new chapter. Like, he's decided that he wants divine feminine. He misses her. He wants to spend time with her. So it's like he's been trying to plan a vacation or get the details of a life together, or the last stuff organized to give her whatever offer, but he wants to have the details of the offer organized before he makes it, so he can move on it when she says yes or something like that. Choice, right? He knows that I hear she's a catch. She has a choice between people, because just like he's fond of her because of who she is, many people maybe, but he knows that she loves him or cares for him. He says, no, I know she loves me. Exactly. He knows she loves him, and there's a fondness between them. And so they want each other. He doesn't want to give... He wants her to have the choice, but he doesn't want other people to have the opportunity, meaning he wants to commit to her. He wants to be her partner. He wants to be loyal to her. He wants to be the one who's worthy of choosing, basically. But because he's wanting to actually be a good partner and commit and is taking action steps to do so, that also is what makes him, it sets him apart, that choice to stay upright and be upright. However, there is a thing about connections dissolving because not enough time and attention is being put in them. I picked something about this up the other day, in fact. And sometimes that happens. It's like one partner feels neglected because the other one's always busy at work or something like that. And there needs to be a balance, of course, because how can you run a life in a household without going to work and being efficient with that? However, it's not so much about that, like a Dear John type of thing. It's, speaking of Dear John, he was a soldier. This is Delray Meeker II. My Mr. Meeker was Delray Meeker III. Yeah, as I look down, I'm holding the balance card. There needs to be a balance. It's not so much about the Dear John reference. It's more about a love language. Somebody doesn't understand the Dear John reference. It's something that has been coined to happen when a soldier goes off to war and he's got a girl waiting at home for him to come back, and he's over there fighting in the military, and then he gets a letter and it says, Dear John, I'm sorry to tell you like this, but I'm lonely and I found some guy, and don't bother coming home to me when you're done with the military. I'm choosing to be with this other guy. And it's just sad, but that's what it's called, a Dear John letter. So it's not so much about, him going to work and providing and her not even being grateful for that and leaving with someone else. It has nothing to do with that in this case. But as a baseline example, yeah, he says it's about the neglect and the connection. Yes, it's more about the love languages, and that's what I'm getting at. Because if his love language is gift giving, and like maybe even acts of service for him, like going to work and providing and being able to like take her on vacations or like whatever he give her gifts, just even just be a provider or whatever. For him, that's love. But if her love language is, or even if it's that her higher love language, meaning that there's a love language, maybe she does value maybe she does value acts of service and maybe even gift giving, but they're lower on her love language scale than quality time spent or physical touch, then it doesn't matter how many gifts he gives her when what she wants more is his time and his presence, and maybe even like maybe she likes to cuddle. Maybe she feels really loved when they have cuddle time. She doesn't mind PDA. She loves when he kisses her and like holds her and like holds her hand, puts his hand on her knee or between her thigh or on her waist. Like he likes to touch her, or she likes to be touched, connected, not even necessarily in a sexual way at all, just physical touch. She likes being close. Divine Masculine says, so if I'm out of the house working all the time, she's going to feel like full out neglected. Yep. Or what if it's communication, right? If her top love languages are quality time spent, physical touch, communication, then if you're out of the house working all the time, it doesn't matter whether you think you can come back and buy her a bigger house or a nicer car or take her on vacation when she feels so disconnected from you anyway, because you're not putting in the time and effort to communicate with her and love her how she hears you. Now, a partnership is about learning each other's love languages and being able to communicate both ways. But again, you have to be able to honor each other. And this is when sometimes people have conflicts because let's say he's like, well, I do love you. What do you mean? I'm going to work and I'm paying for the bills and I'm trying to make sure we can have a better life and vacation and college for the kids. And she's like, but I never see you. I feel so neglected. Like I would be willing to maybe do some work myself or do more work myself to lighten the load for you, or go without as much of the frivolous stuff, if not all of it, so that we can spend more time together as a family or as a couple or both, whatever it is for each person, right? So there's that balance. There needs to be balance. What about don't chase me? Yeah. So there's no need for it anyway. This is a connection that's faded. Now, when I say faded, both parties still need to choose each other, otherwise they lose the contract. But they have. Look, they have and they are. So don't chase me is a reference of he'll be back. Trust and know he'll return. So there's no need also. But like this seems like he wanted to, like I said, come through with some kind of commitment, some kind of offer, something that he wanted to have organized first. He says he doesn't want to give her a chance to say no. He doesn't want to give her a reason to say no. And that's what that choice is about. There it is, devotion, because it's not about trying to force her or entrap her. I mean, she has free will and he knows that. She could choose someone else, but he doesn't want her to, not because he's trying to ice out the competition like those other people have, whether it be with spell work or anything else, but because he genuinely, superiorly wants to be the best man for her. Not even just like the better man, the best man for her, not as in what do I think that she's looking for that I need to try to pretend to be. No, like how can I genuinely improve myself so that I can be the best version of me, so that I can be the best version of me for her. so that I can be the best person I can be for her, so that I can be the best for her. But really, it's for both of them. And that's that twin flame mirror as well. It's like they just inspire each other to be the best versions of each other. They want to see each other grow. They see each other's strengths and help nurture each other. It's really a beautiful connection. My heart chakras, hold on, just starting to light up. Look, reunion. And that's also where this connection is expanding. I heard this earlier too, but I hear let me see beneath your beautiful. Yeah. You tell poison, it makes you feel good. Yep. I want to kiss those soft lips, he says, and look, let's connect our chakras. Seeing a reader. This is in reverse though. Why? Because there's no need. He doesn't feel like he needs to go get a reading, or this is somebody who feels like my readings are qualifiable. Anything else? Do you want to tell me about that surrender energy? Surrender. Yeah. Meaning just open up. This is not a dead cycle. There's love here. There's sweetness. There's affection. There's passion also. You know why? Because this is a divine connection. It's a twin flame connection. And it is fated to be together. But these also are people who've chosen themselves and they've chosen each other. And that's the difference between the divine counterparts who never fell, either of them, or the ones that, let's say like a divine feminine has been recontracted because people fell. Just because God has contracted them to be together doesn't mean, it's like getting hired for a job and then you don't show up for your job. The job still needs to be done. God will just hire somebody else to do it. That's all. They still get out the same title, all the benefits, the bonuses. They just have a different name. It's like a fallen angel. You don't call on fallen angels. Well, what about the jobs they did? They're still dispersed amongst the ones that didn't fall. Especially the superiors. I heard the elders. Seraphim, especially. Not just Seraphim, and the divine can send that down if necessary. But yeah, we help. Like a lot of the angels that fell over the last couple of years, Zadkiel was already doing those jobs or helping out with those things, so nothing changed. It's just that the other ones that were supposed to be doing those things weren't. And I also partially think that Zadkiel had been doing those things because the others hadn't been. And noticed. Figured the slack needed to be picked up anyway. But then they fell. Like they were too busy playing around and not doing their jobs to come back. It's like somebody could try to show up back at their job that they got fired from after not showing up once they got hired, especially after they took a sign-on bonus. But that boss isn't going to rehire them again. So there was one other energy that came out, and it's this one. Speaking of fallen masculines, must be why I just channeled that one out. Forgot about this. I'm dealing with my karmic. So this false masculine, this false twin is still, some of them have been trying to or want to spin the block. They're still dealing with the karmic people that they thank you. they fell by running around with. Taking my vitamins. Hold on. So they wanted to make money off of us. No. In some way. Energetically or otherwise. Healing is in reverse. They're not. And then I get lost in thoughts of you. No, they drown in them. Really, truly. But these are not people who are thinking about you for like good or romantic reasons. It's a very toxic energy. Like they might think so, but remember all the nasty things that were done. How they caused harm, how they joined people that caused harm, or they didn't stand up for you when it counted. For starters. You know? So there's that. Then subsequently, as far as these bullies, these peaked in high school bullies go, they hate to see you winning when they feel they are struggling. This is their karma also. They will continue to be stuck in a level of hatred and struggle for targeting us. Unexplained body aches, pains, tension. That's what they wanted for us too. Some of them did black magic to wish that on people. Unexplained rashes or skin conditions. They will have just constant bad luck, it seems, but it's not. Misfortune, bad luck, repetitive. It's karma. Especially since they wouldn't stop talking crap about people, or people will sit there and take digs at them because of everything they did, especially if they bullied people online. They resent everything that you are because it reminds them of everything they're not, and they will continue to feel that way because you will continue to rise, and so will I, and it will still continue to rub them the wrong way. Like chafed skin, like a blister, bad blister. Lack of mental focus, inability to focus without reason. So those crown chakra attacks, third eye attacks they were sending, yep, those are backfiring. They will continue to be jealous and envious of your relationship status, which means that they will be either single and miserable or in a toxic relationship. And miserable. Maliciously wishing you harm and misfortune, and they'll continue to have that rained upon them because that's all they sent out. And so this is somebody either connected to an ex that you had that was ganging up on you, or me, or this is somebody who will have issues, right? Jealous of your relationship because they have issues with their ex or their partner. They'll continue to be upset and jealous and envious of your career, which means that theirs must not be anything. Hoping for your downfall. So there will continue to stay down. And people will hope that they fall. People will not be supporting them because all they did was hate on your come-ups. And so people will not be giving them any. Yeah, envious of your connection with your person or significant other. This might not be a person in some cases who actually sitting there sending spell work, like I said, whether it's that or not, but it's the sheer fact that they are sitting there with hateful energy because they're jealous or covetous of what you have. So unexplained weakness, laziness, and fatigue. This is the divine, or the universe rather, sitting them down, I would say. The same dark energies that some of them were calling on others coming back to haunt them. Unexplained lack or loss of appetite. Stuck in a victim-like mentality. I just saw somebody be very sick, like in a hospital sick. Like maybe something about pills. not eating in pills. Estranged friend or someone you no longer are acquainted with. So they have enemies all around their circle, first of all, but also this is somebody that you either used to be friends with or who you had an acquaintance with, somebody you knew in passing on some level, or just from a local setting, and or a smaller group setting even. Maybe a bigger group setting, it doesn't really matter. It'll depend on the person, but for some, that's what this is. Is somebody mad that you cut them off or wouldn't give them an opportunity to get closer to you in the first place. But look at what they've done and what they're doing. The envy, the interest that someone has developed for you, yeah. So I hear this is why they wanted to slander people. They envy your financial status and flow of income, so they will continue to as you rise. And this return to sender is whooping their butt. They can't stand to see you happy, but will be forced to continue to do so. And then either their family members turning on them, or they don't have any support, or their karma is coming back for trying to mess with yours or get involved with yours. Try to spin the narrative or play the victim or turn people against you. Because you and I, my friends, were being divinely protected from these toxic people who've been stalking and watching our every move. Trying to cause crown chakra attacks. But it's backfiring on them. Third eye attacks, it's backfiring. Because all they've done is gossip and slander. And cause problems of jealousy and envy. Speaking of the envy, your physical appearance. They wish they were more like you. And their karma will soon be delivered. I heard that. There's a karmic. He's questioning why I'm not on screen. I'm wearing my pajamas right now. I could come on screen. I don't really want to. But if I did, it would hurt your feelings. I promise. You know? It would. You know? It hurt your feelings. I don't really need to be on screen. I don't need to be seen. But since you wanted to play that game. Okay. Watching your successes and achievements has made them bitter. They feel intimidated by you, I'm sure. But the divine is watching. So you stay humble and let them crumble. You don't need to forgive these people. Some of them tried to literally take us out. Keep sitting unbothered. Show no fear. And if you do, you forgive them because you don't need to think about them anymore. You forgive them for being clowns, knowing that you'll never buy tickets to the circus. Or take them if they're free because you'd rather repel that biatch and cut them off instead. Call back your energy. I now call all of my power back to me in all directions of infinite time and space. From all people, places, and things that try to tamper with it, take it, and certainly do not have the authority to hinder my life, my growth, or my biofield. I do not consent. And I revoke that and rebuke that in the name of Jesus and the divine. Karma has them now. Told you return back to sender. Flex on that hoe. Don't worry, I will. It's either they've been targeting an air sign or this is somebody with air sign in their chart. Every evil eye focused on you will go blind. So water sign as well. It's maybe a few people doing this. There's one of them psychos stalking me that bullied me in high school. It's a water sign. It will pass. Yep. Release. These people are being cut off. Manifest good karma. Abundance will be on the way. Yeah, I picked that up in the beginning. Abundance Reiki. You must have been trying to send spell work or targeting money. Universe is guiding you away from these toxic energies. They're in low vibes. And evil eyes don't blink. And so, like I said, what kind of psycho? This is somebody who bullied me in high school at least 15 years ago. 15! 1-5 at least. 2010, I believe, was graduation. I mean, like, get a grip. Get a couple. Don't drop them. It's been too long, girl. Why as of today is she still stalking my socials? Why is she subscribed? Psycho. That's why they were doing it, hoping for your downfall, but it's not playing out that way. She's just giving herself more reason to be mad and be your financial status. Yeah, well, guess what? That's why nobody wants to deal with you. So if you have nothing to gossip about in regards to me, nobody wants to hear what you have to say, do they? And that's the thing about these karmics. They don't seem to understand that having people like you is not a flex, not when those people are shitbags. The only types of people who are in support of that behavior are those types of people, or these people in general, are people who, A, are too stupid to know any better, and that's not anybody I need or want around me, or my family or child, first and foremost, and or they're just as toxic as these people, and again, I'm not interested. So there's that. Well, let's see. Tell me about this other copycat energy. I picked up on, yeah, I heard that earlier. They're making fun of you, but I've been picking up also it's out of jealousy. Yeah, their evil eyes backfired. This is somebody who tried to speak, either speak louder than whoever was speaking about them, like a light worker whistle blows and the karmic tries to gossip and slander to overshadow the truth with whatever lies and gossip and nonsense that they're speaking. It doesn't even have to be in volume. It could just be that they think that they have more people listening to them, or more gullible people ready to follow everything they say, than the light worker has honest, observant, cognizant people. Right? Like, I have more followers than you, so it doesn't matter if you're telling the truth because all these people will believe my lies. That kind of an energy. They thought that that was how they'd win, but that's not working. Their evil intentions will fail. They're in their head because they feel like you one-upped them. And oh yeah, look, here's another one. The return to sender backfired on. So I'm picking up big, more so third eye and throat chakra energies with this one. That last karmic energy was sending more like crown chakra and some in the third eye, some in the throat, but big on the crown chakra and third eye, and so those higher ones. But I also picked up earlier the attacks on the solar plexus and sacral. All of these energies are either people who wanted to try to compete, or say they can't make you give up on your dreams or your goals, or they were jealous because they couldn't and tried to copy something. See, there it is. Compete, or they tried to copy. They want to tarnish your reputation. I hear it's not working and they're ruining their own. They see you getting all this love and they can't stand it. And so that's what's fueling their jealousy, right? This hit the floor, so extra emphasis on that. Trying to cause you paranoia, it's not working. See, this is why they copy. They don't like themselves and they feel like, well, she's confident, so I'm going to copy the outside of her and maybe I'll be confident. It's not the outside that makes me confident. It's everything I am and everything I've been through, not just in this life. In fact, right, they will expose themselves. You're popping off and they want to get all up in it. No. And as far as, like, I've had people be jealous of me and mad at me for how many gifts I have and how expanded in my gifts I am and for how young I am, comparatively speaking. And they don't seem to understand or at all take into consideration that I've lived many, many lives. And I mastered these gifts a few at a time in each life. And this one I have all of them, but I've mastered them step by step in previous lives. And so I still carry those in my soul. It was just like, well, you know how if your MacBook dies or your iPhone dies or you need a new one, you can transfer all the files, right? And do that thing with like the QR code, that type of a thing. It's kind of like that. They're just transferred into this body. Okay, but these karmic people who wanted to try to compete with me and compare, you haven't done the work in this life or other lives to have those gifts, let alone to be claiming what you've been claiming. So stop trying to compete where you'll never compare. You missed the first memo and lesson. Also, remember Divine Masculine said patience? Yeah, young Padawan. That's one of the first virtues, and you missed that one too. They constantly try to convince you that they're this and that, but see, it's in reverse because it's not working. It didn't work. They tried. It's like dark energy, dark spiritual gaslighting, trying to implant dark energy or thoughts or fears. No. Plotting and scheming is part of their lifestyle and hobby. Well, that's what put you on this toxic track. That's why you'll never be me, because in order to be me, in order to do what I do, or, you know, you're trying to compete for whatever it is that you think you're trying to compete, you can't be doing that. If you're doing stuff like that, you're automatically disqualified. The fact that you wanted to compete, the fact that you felt compelled to, very low vibrational, automatic disqualification. Like you just don't even understand. I outrank you, not because I think so, because it just is what it is. And people know what's going on. So whether this is prayers, people doing like prayers, which could be considered white magic, really, truly, or for the well-being of others, right? Protection of others, or actual, you know, people praying to ancestors, calling on ancestors, or whatever it is for protection from these fake witches. I just heard baby witches. Yeah. Yeah. I hear it. It's like Joey, Aloha King. It's like they don't even know what they're doing. No. No. So at this point, these people, this is in reverse. It's not even a love-hate thing. Like, they're just full of rage. That's it. That's just it. And there's no way for them to take credit of any kind. They can't lower your self-esteem. It's not even a matter of trying anymore, right? They tried to feed off your confidence, so no. These people are being isolated, or there's hate emails and attempts to mess people up. Yeah, they didn't work. So this is happy over your mess ups, but there haven't been any, not that I've seen. These people have been trying to mess people up, but there's a difference. Yeah, they see your true potential and are threatened by it. Beware of an attempted setup. Yeah, but something has been blocked for your protection. So while it says be mindful, obviously they're trying. Don't worry about it, because God's got you as long as you're making the right moves and taking the right steps. I don't feel like these are people who are really sorry, nor will they apologize. But you will still continue to thrive on them regardless, and so will I. Anything else? These haters bring me clarity and popularity. Haters bringing you income, which is funny because they tried to steal from us and take from us and step on our toes to get that for themselves. Can't compete where you don't compare, but they still try, and you're talented and they're not, and that's just, it is what it is. Hater looking to pick a fight with you, it's in reverse. Stealing your ideas and pretending they invented them, it's in reverse. They can't. They're not wanting to spy on us anymore either. I hear because they know they're getting bad karma for it. Yeah, see, they'll disappear when shit hits the fan for them. Keep reminding them of how fantastic you are. So they know that spying and causing problems and all that stuff is the evil eye, and so it's a form of black magic, and they're getting karma for it. And we keep elevating. They feel like every time they sent an attack, or every time they went to see if their previous attacks or whatever nonsense was going on was working, they feel like we overcame it. They feel like we kept overriding it. They feel like they don't know how we did it. But I'm an alchemist, so. Oh, and darling, alchemy is much, much, much more. Much more. I'm just doing a few spells, okay? In fact, you don't have to do spells at all to do alchemy. When I take the trauma that has been caused, and I take the stress period, the stress cycle or state that I have been in, that people chose to abusively, illegally put me in, and I choose to take a breath, and I choose to do my meditations, and I choose to use the tools that I have to balance things from all sides, whether it be EMDR therapy and Reiki. Really, it's a combination. Reiki, EMDR therapy, and a number of other things. When I choose to take that pain and turn it into power, I choose to take it and turn it into healing, and then use that healing to push forward into further productivity or even artistry. That's alchemy. When I take one of these messy situations that these karmics have created and I start cleaning it up and turning it into something better, that's alchemy. You don't need to do spells to do alchemy. But Zadkiel is the alchemy angel, so there's that. Others are noticing their bullshit lies. No, the power of 3 will not set you free. When you call on the power of 3, you're calling on the divine, whether you call it God or the universe, or some people call it Hecate, right? Baby witches. It's like the Trinity energy. But either way, no matter which religion, culture, or language, it's a divine energy that they're calling on, and that divine energy does not support them because they're being everything that is in opposition to that energy. They're being dark. They're opposing the universal laws and violating them, or trying to anyway. And so, no. They're trying to call for favor on divine beings that do not favor them because they're out of favor. They're salty. Put some salt around your bed for protection. This may be just using a salt lamp, and it doesn't have to be on, okay? But note that if it's not on, they sweat. Posting things directed towards you instead of coming to you directly. Yeah, said like I said earlier. is people talk crap behind the scenes. I tagged these people to their face today. Leave me alone. I know you got the notification where I called you out directly. Cut it out. You'll witness their karma. I don't have anything to hide. They do. They envy your skills and talents. They can't stand that you got it made. I don't have it made. I made it that way. There's a difference. And I got it out of the mud. I built it. Built my house with bricks. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Spell work, their spell work is affecting them and they can feel your come up. So you went to the metaphysical board to try to control people or situations in your life that you don't have control over because you lack self-control. Got it. Didn't work out for you, did it? Yeah, we know. That's a felony crime, by the way. Criminal conspiracy is a crime. I feel that solar plexus sacral energy. Yeah, they're trying to harvest. It's giving that like hocus pocus. I'm going to siphon your energy. No, you're not. I'll block you and return to sender now. Girl, you blocked yourself. They're blocked by holding on to grudges. You will continue to thrive on these haters. Yeah, no. I'm bored. You're boring. It's trying to cause chaos and fights in your love life and relationships, but it's not working. Salty bitches trying to get a reaction from you to get your attention. Yeah, that's not working either. It's why they're both in reverse. Anything else? On a mission to turn others against you. That failed. You overpower them. Haters tried to lie about you. That backfired too, though. Trying to one-up you backfired too. The winds will alert you when spell work is being done. Apparently they're still, it's upright. They're still trying to defame your name. But I feel like this goes back into that confidence thing. They feed off your confidence, or they tried to. No, this just flipped in reverse. And so it's if it's not bothering them, and that's because they're trying to feed off of it. But they're being punished for their wrongdoings. They want to see you suffer so bad because they feel like they're going through struggles, but they're going through struggles because that's their karma. They're being punished because they won't leave you alone, or me alone. And when they get mad that they're being universally punished for not leaving us alone, they come and try to take it out on us as if that's going to make it better. No, the double negative does not make it a positive. It turns it into worse karma for you. They're being punished for their wrongdoings. That's not very smart of them, because now they've caught legal cases for themselves. Okay. Let's do this one. Speaking of. You want to tell me about this dirty cop energy? I picked up that they've been sweating. I heard one dirty cop say the other day, she's got us by the balls, by the nuts in a vice grip. Meaning with the truth. Like these dirty cops tried to lie, tried to cover up the truth, tried to target people, tried to manipulate facts and situations to get what they wanted. And now that the truth about that's coming out, and more specifically the victim that they have been targeting or letting people target is still being loud about it, or got louder about it, or is making progress in whistleblowing about it, well, they're quite panicking. Yeah. Aren't they?
I heard that. It's not funny anymore. Oh, it was never funny at all. It was funny for you when you were hurting people and taking gains at people's expense, but it's never any fun when the rabbit's got the gun, is it? I heard that. We did underestimate her, yeah. I'm turning the light on. Watch your eyes. Bad daily spells. These are people who want to cause car issues, car accidents. See, they post little shade memes, but while I'll call them out to their face for their corruption, they sit there behind a screen and post little memes subliminally. I'll tag them when I call them out. And they sit there and trash talk behind the scene. I'm wearing one. I wanted to put it in my pocket, and God said, no, you need that around your heart chakra today. Okay. Thank you. Love you. I'm listening. Hired people to spy. This could just be on socials too. But yeah. Someone close to you is trying to set you up and stab you in the back and send you to jail. Not even close to you as in like your friends or in your social circle. Just somebody trying to actually get close to you or even just stalk you online. Or me. They'll go missing. This is the second card that says this. They'll go missing once crap hits the fan for them, though. Performing spells to make people not like you and attack you. That backfired. Came out in the last deck. So did this. They wanted conflict in your love, life, and relationships, but no. These are people who wanted to mess with home and business and work. No, that's backfired too. Now they're exposed and trying. I already know that they're getting their behinds beat in jail. Somebody asked in the beginning, why? Why aren't you just starting the reading? Because I needed to clear the space and just make sure the energy was good. I picked it up once I came here. But this is in reverse because I already did it. So somebody who really wants either a car accident or even a drunk driving collision, even if it's someone else that hits you. Like I said, the second I came here, I picked up that this karmic energy was trying to be all up in mine in the reading.
So it took 10 minutes or so to clear the space. Failed spells and attacks. Death spells too. Take a spiritual bath. I just got out of one. This is the same card that came out in the last deck too. Like an ex-friend or somebody who wanted to have ties with you or something. Maybe somebody you used to support. Trying to throw spell work at your front door or car. This is somebody who wanted to use you or me as a sacrifice for personal gain. Not even necessarily, again, as in spell work, like splayed out on an altar with an athame or something. I mean, if you're falsely accused of things or they try to bully you and like the destiny swapping attempts. Like that. They want you feeling moody, hopeless, depressed because they want you to off yourself. But how's that Uno reverse going to taste, do you think? No, not very good. Oh, I told you. Crooked cops target you. What's up, Kevin Edgecombe? Trying to set you up and get you locked up. Some of them that pretend like they're law enforcement, but they're not. Yeah, this is because they feel like if they do that, they can try to say that all the truth that I've spoken about, the fact that they're dirty cops, will just be swept under the rug and the radar. And also that if I'm locked up because of their false allegations, then there will be no one to help me, one, which is also false because at that point they qualify me for I mean, they tried that twice before. At that point, because of the limitations of this particular state, I was struggling to find legal counsel. Now, when I did finally find it, or when they did finally do that, it actually finally qualified me for help that I hadn't been eligible for beforehand. And it wasn't okay. These people were being criminal, and if there had been proper legal counsel prior, what were otherwise civil matters, even frivolous litigation as they were, could have been, it could have kept them from being pushed to criminal court, which is just a hassle. Now, all of those charges were dropped, meaning that none of that should have been done in the first place. But when they did that, they did qualify me for help. So I don't know where their logic is coming from there, that they think that well, yes, the system is flawed and there are some crappy lawyers, but don't you think that I know how to ask for a new one and will continue to ask for a new one until I get an appropriate one? That's not like I haven't had that issue before. Don't try me. Good grief. Logic. There's a response to your logic. We know better. Karmics. Is it ideal? No. But it also failed because they weren't supposed to be doing those things in the first place. I'm bored with this reading. I'm so ready for bedtime, actually.
kitty cats are ready to snuggle. I hear the slander campaigns usually work, so they think that it doesn't really matter if somebody gets out or whatever the case may be, because they've already slandered and stigmatized people so much. Yeah, I hear they expected to be able to. I hear this specifically towards me, but I hear something about they expected to be able to. I hear you're not the first one. No, I bet I'm not. In fact, I knew that. I knew that I was not the first target. There was no way. I knew it. There was no way that I was the first target because they had this routine down pat. And they had an end goal, and even though it was illegal and a violation of freedom and rights and everything, spiritually, legally, and otherwise, they had what they wanted in their head, and they were determined to get it, and they just had tactic after tactic. Now, they were all pretty much the same style of tactics in one form or another. And at first, when you don't know what they're doing or know these tactics, it's very whiplash inducing. And really, in general, it's just toxic and abrasive and not very nice. But after a while, you realize that they're all pretty much the same. And eventually, they run out of tactics. And so they just start cycling, recycling, and rotating the same ones over again because that's just what narcissists do. But survivors adapt. Doesn't mean we will tolerate their nonsense. It does mean we outwitted and outsmarted them. Survivors adapt. Yeah. They think it'll silence people. They think that it'll smash people's credibility if they're locked up in jail. They think that if you're locked up in jail, you'll be stuck there. No one will listen. You will have no help. For starters. I'm making up they really thought they were going to get away with it. You've got them big mad, pissed off. Take a break. I told you I'm bored with this reading. I'm ready to go. Spend time with yourself, pamper yourself, and enjoy yourself. Or pray. You have the victory. Let's do both of those, all of those. They hate to see you shine. Too bad. So incubus, succubus energies call for protection, especially in sleep, but not just. Black spots on the face, bumps, scratches, and especially in threes, welts or bruises. Your spirit team sees all the bad things that they are doing to you and are not pleased. Haters have a price to pay. Always make it make sense. Look at the situation from every angle and allow your
intuition to guide you. For some people, it has been either family or ex-family, even friends, acquaintances. For some, that has been causing problems or was recruited by the people who were, right? At least they didn't oppose it. But in other cases, these are energies where these karmic energies, these people wanted there to be conflict between people and their families. Yeah, look, but it's failing. It's failed. They cannot stop you. Okay. Let's do one more. Your spirit team, ancestors, animals are showing you dreams, signs, and visions about your haters. Pay close attention. Keep a log of those spiritual warnings. Let's go out cleansing these energies out. There's an extra emphasis on using crystals also for healing. Some kind of something, some kind of protection mechanism. They cannot stop you or defeat you, though. Keep going. Can you tell me about these dirty cop energies? Yeah, they're energy vampires that are being blocked. And then I picked this up earlier, the solar plexus sacral chakra energy, that power of 3 spell attempts that these people have been trying to do. That's what they're doing. They're trying to attack people for whistleblowing about the fact that these people have been attacking us, or stop people from moving or speaking, or what it is an attempted binding spell in a manner of speaking, or literally, depending on the person and situation, and it's not acceptable. It's a violation of other people's free will, and they need to mind their own business. That's not manifestation, it's a spiritual legal violation. Yeah, they talk too much. They exposed themselves. I did pick that up. You know, usually when I start posting Mami Wata Tarot's video, or I start like posting mermaid stuff, all of a sudden they start trying to do voodoo. I'm like, no, nobody's doing that except for you, but it's why you're getting karma. What do you mean? I thought if you're posting Mami Wata Tarot. No. Just because I post Mami Wata Tarot does not mean that I'm doing voodoo, and it doesn't mean that she's doing voodoo either. You're a bigot. You're very stigmatic, and you're incorrect. Okay. What do you mean? No, I mean what I said. It's very simple. Well, if you're posting, no. Mami Wata is a African deity that is very similarly likened to the Grecian version of Aphrodite. So I know for a fact that this person I'm picking up on, you don't have a problem with Aphrodite, so why do you have a problem with the black version of her? Bigot. So first and foremost, secondarily, just like Aphrodite, Mami Wata is a goddess of mother, fertility, love in a number of cases as well. But so you mean I've been attacking a goddess of love? I've been doing something you shouldn't have been doing. Told you. Okay. And
Yeah, like Ursula over there. The sea witch. Trying to block and bind the truth, divine feminine's voice. Trying to mirror herself in the image of someone else. Same way that Ursula does. She turns herself, what's her name? She turns into herself into a girl named Vanessa in the movie The Little Mermaid. But she steals Ariel's voice because she knows, or she thinks that it'll trick the prince into believing that it was her that rescued him. And also, I have water sign in my chart. How are you? What? I thought you were an earth sign. I've got a balanced chart. I know how to use each of those energies as necessary. But the thing about that is I use them to fuel and grow and build my own life. I'm not using them to cause harm to people. I will use them to defend myself and others. But there's a difference. There's a difference, karmics. You lack discernment across the board. Like when people are defending themselves from you, that they're not attacking you. And like how you just shouldn't be attacking people to the point where they need to defend themselves from you. Mind your business. It's not a fun game of tit for tat. Also, both Mami Wata and I are God people. I don't need to do voodoo or spells. I just talk to God. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Yep. So these people tried to cause harm for other people's family. Yeah, no, as far as the Edgecombs, this is a family issue. You've got the crooked cop, Lieutenant Kevin Edgecombe, but then his daughter, as of today, is still currently subscribed to my account. Stalking me for her daddy. That's a generational curse. So karma is coming to them as a family now. Because they're being cleared out. I already did that. I just heard the word bard. It's a druidic word. Yeah. Wrapped up in a pretty package. You mean kind of like these? Whatever was holding you back or attempting to hold you back is being removed. Also, the public eye card came out. And so you've got multiple people watching you who don't have your best interest at heart. And then also toxic fixation. It's in reverse, though. These people are exposed and being cut off. Someone is attracted to your light and seeking to dim it. They wanted to. No. Anything else? You want to tell me about these dirty cops before we go? Yeah, I mentioned protection and prayers. Somebody's been trying to do spell work and candle magic. No. I heard that. I picked that up earlier. Like, you're doing spell. No, I'm not. First of all, it's easier to see with the candle here. Second of all, I don't do spells with candles. If I light a candle, it's with positive and or healing intent. You do spell work. Stop projecting. With that logic, Jesus could have been considered a white witch, okay? And if he wasn't stoned and crucified, if he had been born in the era of Salem, he would have been what? Hung? Burned at the stake? For being what? a healer. 90-22. Bite it. Bite what? The whole ass bullet. You're gonna choke on that one, honey. Choke on what? Your karma. All right. That's sassy. Yup. Also classy and a little smart-assy. A whole lot smart-assy. But they deserve it. So, you know. Right, Divine. He says, aptly timed. I don't blame her. Makes me laugh. Well, good. Me too. Let's pack a bowl to celebrate. A few more weeks, though. Birthday cake. No, I think we're going to do... some mint chocolate chip pancakes. I heard that. Some what? Some mint chocolate chip pancakes. I said what I said. I did not stutter. I heard that. I thought you said birthday cake. I did. Well, which one? Both. What do you mean? In fact, this one will have a little bit of both in it. Heard that too. Is that the only one? No, I got some Martian mints in there too. But I don't want or need any of that one right now. I'm good. That's so weird. Why are you nitpicking? Well, if you had some in the grinder, why are you putting more in there? Because there wasn't enough for a full bowl pack. But I decided I didn't want the same strain. Why do you care? Right. Okay, so if you put more in there, you'd have enough for a full, but right, so then it's a little bit mixed. But why do you care? Also, like, what a weird thing. I'm speaking on this energy, soliloquy, hello, because this is that nitpicking, this is where they're at right now. It doesn't matter the topic, it's just like any little thing is so weird. Meanwhile, I'm just minding my business and not even really thinking twice about it until questioned, you know. Now I have answers, but like, why? I have better questions for you. Why do you care? It seems like a personal problem to me. It's not just like innocent curiosity is what I'm saying. This is weird. I heard that. Way to make us look bad, Karmic says. I didn't make you look bad. I just didn't help you hide it or glaze over it. We're not going to do that here. I'm not Mary Poppins. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit for you. Spoonful of sugar. No, bitch, apple cider vinegar works just fine for me, in fact. Did you know, scientifically speaking, with the mother, of course, apple cider vinegar actually works better than honey? There's a reason for it. There's science behind it, and it's because the fermentation process of the apple cider vinegar emits this smell into the air, and it draws the flies and the bugs in to
the vinegar, therefore killing them. Now they are attracted to honey. It's sweet and sticky, but it's the fermentation of the apple cider vinegar that gives off enough sweetness, but also that scent in the air that draws them in a way that honey does not. Certainly not the same way. So, factually speaking, you catch more bees with honey. No, actually, apple cider vinegar works better. Science. You need me to help you rip that Band-Aid off? You can come out of the closet now. Cheers. Happy Aries season. I thought you were a Virgo. I am. Thought you were a water sign. I am. I told you. Balance. 9622. I heard that. So you're like Avatar. Yeah. It's not the first time I've heard that one. Nor said it myself. Cheers. There's regulation Reiki coming through. Yeah. I hear Dunno by Mac Miller, specifically the I can calm you down line. Yep. Save the rest of that green juice for tomorrow. Hi, baby. I just heard also, I'm so sorry we did that to her. Like, we shouldn't have done that to her. She's gonna hang us in court now. She's gonna crucify us in court now. We left a paper trail. Oh, that's just dawning on you now? 1:11 here on the clock on the East Coast. Well, that wasn't very smart of you. Karmics. Anyway, moving on. I think I'm going to drop the mic right there. Please remember to pray, do no harm, take no crap, and I will catch you on the next one. Blessings. Namaste.